In a world where all fantasy football is void of any good times or fun. In a world where fantasy football is voided of intelligence. I, Commissioner Elijah Fast, invite you into a league. A Dynasty League. The Big Cat Dynasty League. Where intelligence and good times is valued. Tune in for this week's part 2 of draft updates and weekly review, The Long Haul, as we discuss with a special guest, John Tububub Matthews, the draft to date, and his in-depth analysis of each and every round. Join me, folks. You will not regret this decision.
Okay, John, I just finished up in the restroom. I think it's time we get going on tonight's review.
Well, Tububub, I've already given my input of round 1. Why don't you give us your highs and lows of round 1, round 2, and on and on and on.
We've got a lot of textbook stuff here. I mean, in the first few rounds of a dynasty draft, all the picks are good picks. Mm-hmm. These players are going to be on your roster for a long time. But Big Tuna's fishy pick of the draft so far is Christian McCaffrey at 2-2.
Really?
Or 1-2, the second
Christian
overall.
McCaffrey? Why? He's the running back number 1.
Now, we'll talk about some stats later on, but he's 28 years old. He's been a running back 1 5 times, and there's only 2 people in the history of modern fantasy football who have done it 6 times, and we think that Christian will be the 6th, but he's at the end of his career. So would you rather have Josh Allen, who's going to be your high-end quarter in a super flex league with extra points for passing touchdowns? Would you rather have Josh Allen, who's going to be on your team for hopefully 10 more years, certainly 5, 6, 7 more years, or Christian McCaffrey for 2 or 3, hopefully 4?
Now,
I mean, Christian McCaffrey's an outlier, but
I would agree.
It's just a lot of years you're giving up.
I do
think. A lot of years.
Do we want to add some context? What if, I wish we could get a statement from Pierre.
At Pure Tongue.
However, what if he's competing for the now?
Then you can't.
Do you still not take C-Mac there?
Then you need 2 quarterbacks. You can't win a super flex league if you're not starting 2 quarterbacks. And right now he's got Dak Prescott, who's a fantasy superstar. Think what you want about Dak Prescott. Maybe will never win a playoff game in his career. Who cares? He's a fantasy stud. He's a top 5 quarterback in fantasy all the time. But Drake May, you can't win if you're not starting 2 quarterbacks, and the second quarterback is Drake May, and so you just can't. I mean,
fair enough.
Hopefully Garrett Wilson has a great year.
Right.
Hopefully A.J. Brown has a great year. Devontae Adams is probably going to get traded to the Jets at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
You just need 2 quarterbacks. And Christian McCaffrey is a great player, but it was 2 rounds too soon.
Okay, there we have it. Tuna's fishy pick of the round 1.
Yeah.
Now explain to us your favorite pick. What's your favorite pick from round 1?
So far, and again, it goes back to quarterbacks.
Okay.
And I'm a full disclosure, I'm a Bears fan.
So you're incredibly knowledgeable and have seen a lot of winning footballs. You're saying?
I've seen a lot of
terrible football.
A lot of sad football. Yeah.
And you like Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love and Justin Fields and Matt Nagy.
More than anything, I hope that Jordan Love is just awful at football. The thing I want most in my life is for Jordan Love to be bad at football. But Caleb Williams in the 3rd round at 3-3 is awesome.
We said favorite pick of round 1, not the draft you homer.
He was going in ADP. I use a consensus ranking that does Sleeper and Yahoo and ESPN and Our Lads and Dynasty
KTP,
Nerds.
Keep Trade Cut, or what is that?
KTC's a good one.
KTC.
But Caleb's going around the 9th overall pick. And he went all the way in our league to 33. Third round, 3rd pick. And so that's my favorite pick of the draft. And
wow, so you're already coming out and saying your favorite pick of the draft. What's your, if we break it down round by round, round 1, you've already said your fishy pick of the draft.
Christian McCaffrey, yep.
So what's your favorite pick of round 1?
I mean, so I'll exclude Patrick Mahomes.
Right. What's your best value?
I see. It's too early for CeeDee Lamb. I'm really high on CJ Stroud on it, and obviously I'm biased because I took him. I think Joe Burrow falling to the 8th overall, and only because it's a 6-point passing touchdown league. Obviously, Lamar in a without the passing touchdown, like the rushing quarterbacks have the highest points. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson are going to score more points on average. But in the extra 2 points per passing touchdown, I don't think Joe Burrow should have made it to 8.
I would agree.
But JJ at 9, that is awesome.
It is. But the fact that
but then Chase at 10 is good. Those are all great.
I would agree. Well, and I even touched on that in a previous stream. Joe Burrow getting taken after Lamar Jackson, where throwing touchdowns equate to 6 points.
Yep, I would have taken.
Why would you take Lamar, an injury-prone quarterback? I don't know. I don't know. I would agree. All right, I do like that.
And I would have taken, just so it's on the record, I like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase more than CeeDee Lamb. I would have taken CeeDee Lamb behind those two guys.
Really?
I'm in the minority in doing that.
See, Chickens, I do got to say what CeeDee Lamb has going for him is age.
Yeah, he's
in a high passing volume offense.
Yep.
Probably more so. Justin Jefferson, there's some question at quarterback.
But he's the best. He's of the three.
JJ McCarthy sucks. Let's just be honest. It's
Well,
terrible.
if we look at
I would feel so awful about myself if I chose him at any point in the draft because let's be honest.
I'll say
he was a system guy.
I think the only stat you need to bring up when you're talking about JJ McCarthy is his win-loss record in his entire life.
That's a team stat.
And winning players win games, And I think it's something like he's in high school, college, and I guess it's high school and college. His professional career, he's like 60-1 as a starter.
Okay.
And
they said that about Trevor Lawrence.
Well, winning players win games, man. And there aren't a lot.
Are we trying to win games, or are we trying to win fantasy?
There aren't a lot of players that win a ton of games that are not good fantasy players.
Fair enough.
He was my third quarterback though, so that's tough. He will be observing my team whip you guys' butts this season.
On the bench.
Yeah, on the bench, yeah.
Right.
And then next season, when he's the starter and pops off like Jordan Love, I'll trade him for Jamar Chase.
Well, that's a stretch. Okay,
seems like a big come up for me.
Well, potentially, because I hear Brolijah only has one quarterback. But and the rumor mill has it, I may or may not be taking a quarterback with this next couple selections. So round 2, John. What's your fishy pick of round 2, and your best pick of round 2? And we're gonna kind of keep some pace here.
Yeah, we gotta pick it up. No, I mean it's Puka Nacua.
Really?
He looks awesome, and he was dominant, and he's as young as any. He was his rookie season, but Cooper Kupp is going to come back this season and remind everyone that he is one of the best receivers in the league, and Puka will not have. He had a lot of touchdowns, which is the most volatile stat in fantasy, and so that'll regress to the mean. And it's just 1 year, man. It's tough in Dynasty because
is that your fishy pick or is that your best pick?
That's my fishy pick. Is Puka Nacua at 2.8.
So you like Cooper Kupp?
I do like Cooper Kupp.
Interesting.
In fact,
how many wide receivers?
I think I like him enough. I like him enough. Maybe I should scoop him. I know he's 31 years old.
Maybe it's worth a thought.
He's young like Donald Trump's young, just a young man.
In its twilight. What's your best pick of round 2?
I'm again really excited that Herbert fell to 2.3, but it's probably Love at 2.10. You need 2 quarterbacks.
Yep.
You need 2 quarterbacks in a superflex league.
Yep.
AJ Brown is awesome, but he is injured. Tyreek Hill was literally saying he's going to retire and join a certain industry of last year, and running backs have historically short careers. We hope Bijan and Brees are longtime guys. Marvin Harrison hasn't taken a snap in the NFL, so it's got to be Justin Herbert or Jordan Love.
Fair enough.
They're going to be on your team for a long time.
Round 3?
Fishy and good.
Fishy and good?
Caleb Williams is the winner.
Okay.
Oh, Sam Laporta though, dude. CVA that took Sam Laporta.
That's a good pick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great
That's
pick.
awesome.
Great pick by Sevajanar.
Maybe
Fishy pick?
Fishy pick. Taking Brock Purdy
Okay.
at 310 by our boy here over
Interesting.
Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence.
Really? So did Brock Purdy not top Trevor Lawrence's best year in only his second year?
Certainly has, but not Dak Prescott. In terms of fantasy, Dak Prescott
In terms
is,
of sleeper dynasty fantasy, though, does Brock Purdy's age not play a factor in drafting him over Dak Prescott at 30 years old?
time will tell if this was a bad pick. Only time will tell.
Time will tell,
But
or I can tell, and I thought it was a good pick. But
I do like Brock Purdy. I do like Brock Purdy.
okay, but
Will-
that's the
will he-
worst. That's
will-
your fishy pick of the draft.
It is.
Okay, fair enough.
Of that
Fair enough.
one.
I can
he look,
take it.
Will he look the same next year when Debo and or Brandon Ayuk are gone? I don't know. Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Time will tell. Fishy pick of round 4.
Fishy pick. Golly, Travis Etienne, dude. Maybe I'm just trashing Eli here.
Maybe trashing the guy that feeds.
Actually, it is 100% Kyron Williams, and we'll talk about it in the stats. I don't think Kyron Williams is going to have another running back one season for the rest of his career.
Really?
I think that Blake Corum is going to absolutely crush his touches, and I don't think he'll ever be a running back one ever again.
Okay, fishy
And
pick.
so then you might as well have taken David Montgomery.
Sure.
Right? If what I think is going to happen happens, you could still literally still draft David
Travis
Montgomery.
Etienne would have been a pretty good selection.
But yeah, he
But-
catches balls, and Kyron, yeah, he had a great season, but I don't think he's going to do it again.
John, let me stop you there. I got a text in from a viewer. Jason Fast says, touchdown dependent.
Yeah, so the most volatile stat in fantasy football is touchdowns.
Yep.
Right? Now, we were talking about Puka Nacua. So, for example, if you have Javonte or the Detroit Lions, Jamal Williams.
Oh yeah, yep.
If you've got Jamal
14
Williams, who
touchdowns.
scored, 14,
I think.
I think it was higher than that, wasn't
Was it higher?
I thought it was like
17?
19 or something crazy in that crazy touchdown year. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
like when you're scoring touchdowns, it's the most volatile stat, and we're expecting 6 to 8. And I don't know how many Puka had, but Cooper was out. If you can look it up for me, Eli. But Cooper Kupp was out for a good chunk of the season, and so he was getting high target share, high volume, lots of touchdowns, and so we'd expect the touchdowns to regress to the mean.
What?
And then it's only yards, and I don't know.
Cooper
Kupp still exists.
I must ask,
He still exists.
in your opinion, what is considered high touchdown volume? Give me a number.
8. 8 is a lot of touchdowns.
How many did Puka Nacua have?
I don't know.
Puka Nacua totaled 6 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. Jason's right. We'll see.
Is that still your
And
fishy pick
the
of the second round?
It's a really small. So if we look at the guys that went before Puka, it's CeeDee Lamb, who's a stud, Justin Jefferson, who's a stud, Jamar Chase, who's a stud, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a stud, and the only other Tyreek Hill is old, but could be the wide receiver 1 overall, especially in our big play format where 50 plus yards gets you extra points, but could have a shorter career. So he's not better than Tyreek Hill, but he's younger. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're not impressed.
If he does it again, he will be in the same conversation as CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase.
Justin Jefferson.
Puka Nacua will,
Yep,
and Justin
yep,
Jefferson.
yep,
but I
yep.
just don't think he'll do it again.
Okay.
I think he'll be great, but I think he's going to be like.
Do you think his year of 1,500 yards, 6 touchdowns, 10 yards per catch?
I think he's going to be like a
was
great
an outlier?
I think he's going to be an awesome wide receiver too, like Jalen Waddle. I think he's going to be solid, productive. But if you're drafting someone that early, I mean, he has to be awesome, and hopefully he is. And I could be wrong, but he has to be awesome. And so it's high pressure with a small sample size.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You might be right, Jason, and I'll eat my words, and you can rub it in my face. But
Round 4, your best pick of round 4.
probably Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's got to be Dak.
Great fantasy player.
4-9. Yeah,
Yep.
it's Dak.
Good time to pick a quarterback.
And
Okay.
Pierre needed a quarterback too, and he got a really good one.
Yep.
And
I would
good
agree.
in fantasy. I'm not saying that he's a good real quarterback, and we can have that conversation, but A great fantasy quarterback.
Round.
Trevor Lawrence in the next round.
Yep, round 5.
Yep,
Trevor Lawrence,
Trevor Lawrence.
best pick or fishy pick?
Best pick.
Okay. And
He
then fishy
should
pick?
have gone rounds. I would have drafted Trevor Lawrence 4 picks later if he fell to me.
Wow.
So I would have already been 3 quarterback, and then after J.J. McCarthy,
4 quarterback. Well, you can start them all.
Only
so
God
that's-
can save
yeah.
me, you know.
Yep. Fishy pick?
Josh Jacobs?
Really?
I don't know.
You're not a
man.
fan.
I
Are
like him,
you
and
of
you
the
need a
belief
running
that
back.
he won't repeat?
No, he's 26, I think.
Not very old. It's all about.
not very old.
Here's
He's
my
not very old.
rebuttal.
Okay.
Running backs age to a certain extent does not matter. It should be based on yards acquired
attempt, yeah.
per
Yards.
yeah, their
And
total
he did
career
great.
yardage.
He
And
did great
he's
in the
so
contract
low
here.
on total career yardage.
My fear in Green Bay is they drafted a guy in the 3rd, 4th round, Marshawn Lloyd.
Yes.
I'm not sure where they took him, but he
Yes.
looks great. Remember the quad father, AJ Dillon is still there. He exists, and I know that the contract is garbage. It was like 4 years, $48 million.
There's no way they don't play him based on
Well, yeah, he's going to do good this year, probably. But the contract, like it is literally the contract is 1 year. If you look at the specifics of it, they could cut him next year with 0 cap hit. It's a 1 year contract. I know it says 4 years, 48, but that's not at all what it is. So I'm.
Fair enough. No, fair enough.
Year,
That's
maybe you get a couple.
fishy pick of round.
Maybe you
let's
get a
see,
couple
is that
years
round
out of
5?
it.
Is that round 5?
That's round 5.
Okay. Moving on to round 6. Good pick of round 6.
This is a good range. Debo, obviously Debo's going to outperform where we expect him to, where he went here, but he's an aging quarterback. I really like Drake May as a prospect. Travis Kelce is an ageless phenom, but I do think he's only got a couple years left, if only because he just wants to retire. I think he could physically do it, but I mean, if you could just run around and hang out with Taylor Swift and make $1 zillion, I would probably just do that instead. Not a ton. Good picks. No, nothing in 6-1 that stands out.
Okay.
I really like Tank Dell. Jared Goff is underrated.
Okay.
James Cook, good pass catcher.
If you had to pick one, though.
James Cook, just because running backs are unlikely to have 2 running back 1 seasons.
Yep. I would agree.
Just based on the statistics, is James Cook.
And I believe he's going into his 3rd year.
Yes, I think that's right.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So sky's the limit.
Maybe.
Worst pick of that draft or that round?
It's got to be James Cook in the.
You're saying James? Oh, I totally misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
In the next round, it's the running backs.
Is this round 7?
It's the running backs. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Best pick of the round, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay.
I was
JSN.
heartbroken when he went right before me.
And I think probably worst pick is T.J. Hawkinson, right? That's T.J. Blockinson, I think is what they go by.
See now, but
Is he going to play this year? I gotta ask you. Is he going to play?
Oh yeah, he's 100% participant.
Is he 100%?
He's 100% participant.
Is he
in no taste.
100%?
Already? He's 100%
Really? For
participant.
tearing? What did he injure halfway through the season?
I don't know the details of the injury, but I've gotten the update. He's 100% at OTAs.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So what's your worst pick of this round?
Pacheco or Rachaad White. Again, because running backs are unlikely to reproduce running back 1 seasons. I mean,
You're really heavy on that.
Pacheco's getting volume. Well, it's the longevity in Dynasty.
Okay,
Running backs have shorter career windows, and so it's like, well, I mean, maybe Xavier Worthy ends up being terrible, right? And then that would be the worst pick, of course.
So
But
Jonathan
it's
Taylor.
unlikely that he's going to be.
Does Jonathan Taylor repeat?
The odds say that he will not. The odds say
that he won't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch him in the first 3 rounds.
And
to be honest,
yeah,
I don't know.
That was a tear break pick for me. It's like, well, do I believe in Jonathan Taylor?
I guess you do.
Certainly more than I believe in Travis Etienne and the next tier of guys, Kyron Williams, James Cook. I mean, the guys that are going after that are Rachaad White. Jonathan Brooks hasn't taken a snap. Derrick Henry's
timeless.
Literally 1,000 years old at this point.
Uh-oh.
Also, we're way over time. Way
2 days ago. You know what?
That's tough.
You know what, folks? We'll show it to you.
That's tough. TJ Hawkinson has officially
Oh
shifted.
no,
Officially shifted
folks!
to the pup.
TJ Hawkinson has shifted to the pup.
If this isn't the argument for the 3 tight end strategy, I don't know what is. You know.
So your argument
I
is
could-
draft as many as
60
you can, so
60
when one gets injured.
67% of my tight ends could be on the IR, and I would still have a better tight end than you.
Credit where credit's due. Jason Fast is the one that sent in that recent bit of information.
Long time fan, Jason Fast.
Something. Round 8. Moving on. Pick of round 8. Best pick of round 8.
Well, if Rashee Rice gets out of prison, that'll be pretty good.
Let's assume he does.
Okay, so here's a hot Bears take. Because I'm a Bears fan and I follow the team closely, DeAndre Swift is running like he's not just getting outlet passes from Caleb Williams in training camp. So it's a new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron from Seattle, who did great with Geno and great with Kenneth Walker over there. And he's running. DeAndre Swift isn't just getting dump off like check down passes. DeAndre Swift is literally shifting out and running wide receiver routes. He's getting screens. He's getting legit targets. And if DeAndre Swift, just based on the training camp, and the Bears training camp is a week ahead of other teams because they're doing the Hall of Fame game. And so the Bears and I think it's the Texans are a week ahead of the other teams. And so we have a better snapshot of what's going on. And if DeAndre Swift gets the targets that it looks like he's going to get, he's going to be up in like the Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, Jonathan Taylor. Like he's going to score points this season. So for the value, especially if you needed to start a running back, DeAndre Swift looks great, I'd say.
I like it. I love it. And your fishy pick of round 8?
It's all the tight ends, man, because someone scooped up all the good ones. I mean, we're just starting Jake Ferguson, I guess.
Okay.
You know, good luck.
Wait a minute. That's round 9.
Oh, well, DeAndre Swift was round 7, or round 8.
Right. Who's the
Weren't we
fishy
on?
pick of round 8?
Oh. I mean, it's kind of maybe Rashee Rice is in prison. I don't know. I really like
think
Lad
so?
McConkey.
You don't think Kenneth Walker, man? He
He
really
now,
drafted
can we
a
look
second
up-
round
now,
running back?
Can we actually look
Zach
up?
Charbonnet?
Can we look up Kenneth Walker's touchdowns? Because I don't want to double volatile touchdown myself
Fair enough.
this game, this season.
He had 8 touchdowns in 2023.
I like Kenneth Walker.
He didn't even break 1,000 yards.
I know.
It's
so it's
steady
the touchdowns. It's the touchdowns that do it for you.
I guess he had
That's a little fishy.
I mean, he only had 37 targets and 29 receptions.
And yeah. I mean,
That's not that great.
That's not a lot of targets.
No, Javonte Williams has more targets.
And we know in Dynasty targets are gold. You get
Targets are
if
gold.
you're getting
Even in half PPR.
Yep.
I'm
You
not
need
in love
that-
with the Kenneth Walker pick. Just because, and I must admit, I have bias because I have Zach Charbonnet in a different league.
Yeah, and that's tough.
That's tough.
Like, so there's no guarantee of touches. So
No
if
guarantee.
you're not catching the ball, you have to get the goal line work and you have to get yardage. And if you're doing a split back thing and you're not catching the football, I mean, your ceiling is really capped.
To be fair, there weren't many running backs left available.
Well, it's getting hairy.
It's getting hairy. Would
Joe
you
Mixon-
really want Ramondre Stevens? Probably not. Probably not.
I would say that I
Maybe
would,
Alvin Kamara. Maybe he's old. He's a rental.
Derrick Henry,
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Joe
For win
Mixon.
now.
Well, but Derrick Henry's old.
He's
so
old.
It depends on how you're building your team.
Do you like Tyler Benson? Is that his name? Tyler
Trey Benson.
Trey Benson. I'm
so
sorry.
he hasn't
I'm sorry.
taken a snap in the league. He's going to get volume in Arizona.
He will behind James Conner, who's old.
He's going to get. I think that Trey Benson is going to get volume, and I think he's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. And he's the only other guy in this draft class. It's Jonathan Brooks and Trey Benson, and then it's like a cliff. And so maybe there's a guy that pops out of the woodworks, but
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on to round 9, we're actually gonna let's see. I have confirmation. Once you make your
Throwing it
choice, we're gonna actually get a surprise, an additional surprise call in by Malakul04,
sorry we've gone so slow.
and we're gonna
now,
go
guys.
live pick.
All right, live here. So glancing at my team, a good snapshot here.
Who are you
I'm
thinking?
I'm looking good
Position,
at quarterback.
positional. Who are you feeling? What position do you
I
need?
could really use another tight end at this slot.
There's some rumor
You know?
going around. I had a couple sources text in. Wide receiver is the suspect of what John is taking.
Yeah. But the 4 tight end strategy should not be overlooked. If you do want a deep cut, Ben Sinnott in Tampa Bay, that MFer is athletic. He's going late, but he's got hands. He is fast. He's strong.
I think his comparison
high
was
upside.
wasn't his comparison Alberto? Athletic.
Who's Alberto?
Exactly.
Stay
away. Stay away.
They're just athleticism doesn't do it. See exhibit Darnell Washington, who's a freak of nature, but Alberto, dude. Yeah, whoever that is.
Alberto.
But no, I desperately need a wide receiver because I have to start 3 every week. There are a couple guys that I think are that I project really highly in the future, but I think with my team starting 2 stud quarterbacks, a high upside running back, a high upside wide receiver, and I have a positional advantage at tight end over everyone in the league. I think that I just need someone who is going to score points this year. He's 31 years old, and I just need a warm butt in the seat that's going to score some fantasy points, and it's Cooper Kupp.
There it goes, folks.
And
Cooper Kupp.
It's not a long-term pick. It's not. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time with Cooper Kupp.
That's right. Let's
And,
look up.
looking for a good time this season, Cooper.
Cooper Kupp. He's we had a couple text-ins. Is Cooper Kupp on Social Security?
Well, if we want to get into the politics of it, all of Social Security will die in about 8 years, and so it doesn't matter if he's on. If he's
Like
on
you
Social
said, you're
Security
here for
or not.
what?
I'm not here for a long time with Cooper Kupp. I'm here for a good time with Cooper
right.
Kupp. All I need is, give me 2 years, Cooper. Give me 10 targets a game, 8 catches for 80 yards, and 6 touchdowns on the season, and we're gonna be just fine.
You know, there's a pattern. Phenomenal year. Crappy year.
Phenomenal year.
Phenomenal
Crappy
year. And then crappy year
but
again.
he was could be
So
wrong.
maybe
We
it's
will
now
see.
phenomenal
I
again.
think Cooper's game is he's savvy. He's a savvy runner, and he doesn't have the body size that like Keenan Allen has.
At 6'2".
But he's savvy. He's a
Very
good
savvy.
route runner. He's quarterback friendly.
Yep.
And that translates because you'll get catches, and catches are points. So
Excellent.
not
Well,
here for a long time, here for a good time. Come on, Cooper.
Let's go ahead and get Mally calling in. Malacool. See if we can get him live on the air to make his
Yeah,
selection.
let's do it.
Hey, Malachi, you here? You hear us?
I'm here.
You there? I got John Matthews, a.k.a. Tububub, here with us. He just made his choice.
You know, both.
Yeah, we got you on the show. He just made his choice, Cooper Kupp. And we're hoping...
About time he drafted a wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm a little late. Better late than ever, you know. Better late than never.
That 3 quarterback, 3 tight end strategy is something to be adored.
And,
Yeah, well, there's something to be said about sitting on J.J. McCarthy for a year.
well, I can't start him because I can only start 2 of them.
You
so
can only start 2.
I told Eli he's just gonna watch my team beat you guys from the bench. That's the plan.
It'll be a good learning experience for him.
Well, we can. I mean, if we want to talk about Jaden Daniels and 1 concussion away from retirement, maybe a little depth would go a long way for you.
Would you rather have Brock Purdy, John, or Tua?
Brock Purdy.
Yep. Would you rather have Tua or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence, big time.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, but, you got to think about where those guys were drafted, too.
Yeah, you couldn't get them. Couldn't get them.
A fifth-round pick on Tua or a third-rounder on Brock Purdy? And I know my
Tua.
question would
Yeah,
be Tua.
then
fair enough.
Then the answer is Tua, of course.
Really? Okay. All right. All right, Malacool.
Tua could have an awesome high upside.
High upside until it gets to, I think, the last
Well,
4
the thing
weeks.
is,
Is that the problem?
The thing is, it's okay. Well, this is actually an interesting thing about Tua. If you look at his points per game in the cold weather, dude's from Hawaii, plays in Florida. So when he plays cold weather games, his points per game average goes down by like 5. And so when our fantasy football playoffs are happening, Tua's having his worst games. He's So we're at the distillery right now. The head distiller, Jory's flashing his nipples at us from the other side of the...
I think you just painted an excellent picture of what's happening.
You know? But yeah, two is just...
Yeah.
He doesn't play well in cold weather, and that's when our playoffs are. And, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He has... But
Definitely,
But then he'll...
definitely goes down.
It's the end of the season, man, and that's when we play our championships. That's when we play our championships, and so...
Well, with that being said...
And it's just he's a great quarterback.
Fair enough.
Great quarterback.
He'll get you there.
So who are you going with, Malachi?
Are you going...
You need a running back.
You definitely... Yeah, what is John... John, tell me what you think. What does Malachi need?
Running back. He needs a running back.
Who's his starter?
He needs I would go depth at quarterback. It's Jonathan Brooks is his only running back.
The rookie?
He's a rookie. And we know how rookies are.
He's definitely set at wide receiver, and he's got Brock Bowers. That's not terrible. That's honestly
Brock-
wide receiver. He's probably got the best wide receiver core.
Brock could be great. Yep. And Brock could be great. And you could have a great quarterback room, or you could have a quarterback room that's done in a year, you know?
I'll be honest. I agree with you guys. I think if you look at the construction of my team, really rookie heavy, that's my decision. You guys are going to be kissing my ring in 2027. I think I keep going young here, though.
Okay, we're going youth.
And
Are you going depth? Are you going Bo Nix?
being a Colorado boy.
Yes!
Unbelievable. Bo Nix is the pick, huh?
Nix.
Wow! The gut feel.
Oh, that's tough.
Bo Nix.
You know, I know Eli's the source guy, but I have a source that Eli might have gone Bo Nix at the very next pick. So
I think so.
That was a thought in my mind. That's
Right.
why I picked him on this turn rather than waiting for Eli.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. And could be good, man. Sean Payton, the fear with Bo Nix is Sean Payton has only done it with one guy, and that guy was Drew Brees. And so hopefully it works out. And Bo Nix, if anyone of the rookies could run Sean Payton's system, it is Bo Nix. Hopefully it works out. And anytime, if Bo Nix has a good season, he's automatically in the top 4 rounds in a startup, right?
Absolutely.
So if he hits, you can trade him for Drake London, Jalen Waddle, anyone in a heartbeat, you know.
For sure.
So you got 4 rounds of value if he has a good season.
Yeah.
But
Eli,
maybe,
where are you thinking? Who are you thinking of picking?
now Eli's on the clock 2 in a row. Can this happen on the camera?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's fine.
Eli's dad
Timeout.
is
We have a slight intermission.
So if you guys don't know where we are, I work at a distillery, and the distillery that Eli worked at for a really long time. You can pop
Long
back in
time.
if you
Oh
want.
yeah. You're good.
This
Jory.
is the head distiller, Jory, Niall,
hello,
Todd,
Jason.
Davidson.
Tell us about Jory's work. What does Jory do around here?
Yeah, John, tell him about what I do.
Yes. So Jory, he covers buckets in like sugar or like throws garbage in buckets, and then I just clean up after Jory. So my job is like following Jory around and picking up his stuff, and Jory's job is to make stuff dirtier than it was before.
The trash man.
That's the reality. But in Untitled, Jory's the head distiller at the distillery. Eli worked with us for years and years and years.
Years on end.
And Malachi worked for us for a year or two also, man. Malachi's the
Didn't
best.
really work out so well. And Mally?
My tenure was not quite as celebrated.
Yeah,
I celebrate your tenure.
Honestly, you know
every
what,
day,
Mally? I
Malachi.
saw you the other day driving, and I just wish I could have thrown something at you. Out of love. Out of love.
I wish I could have seen you too.
I did wave at you, but I was like, he doesn't see me. That's not going to happen. All right. Cheers, boys.
I really wish I saw you.
Miss you, buddy.
Miss you too.
To the 6 months Malachi worked for us.
Was it 6?
Oh no, it might have been a year. How long was it, Malachi?
6? A year? Was it a year on and off? On and off?
I think I was close to a year.
About a year. Malachi says about a year.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Fair enough.
I think the problem with your celebrated career here was you always worked super early, or like you came in during the day, and the only person that was here during the day was me. And so,
Very true. And we had good times though, didn't we?
Oh, dude, you were one of my favorite people. So I felt like we formed a relationship as employees, but literally no one else knew that you existed.
It was tough. Yep.
Because
it was tough being underage working at a distillery.
Sure, yeah, that's tough. I mean, you were young too. You were like 16, right?
Yeah.
15?
That's when I started.
Yeah.
On that note,
But Eli's don't compare yourself to Eli. In terms of barkeeps at the distillery, Eli's like Peyton Manning. You know, it's a long.
and Mally's
it was a long-
Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, we're
So,
looking more
yeah.
like Paxton Lynch.
Fair enough. Which some might say Bo Nix is the next Paxton Lynch.
Well,
so.
but maybe a better comp is Justin Fields. We did you dirty, Malachi. We did you dirty, but you have a long and potentially amazing career ahead of you.
Maybe.
It's
sliver by the
It's all
year.
about the change of
Maybe.
scenery.
Yeah.
Do I go Amari Cooper?
So what do you think, Malachi? Well, we've got you. What do you think Eli should do here?
Man, you know, he's got one quarterback right now, and
Yeah,
it was a
that's a
it was
problem.
safety pick in Brock Purdy,
Yep. Yeah.
and
Need
you
the
know-
quarterback.
you need the quarterback.
You got to
I
get
don't
quarterback.
know about
But do you
picking.
reach? Is it too much? Do you reach for the quarterback? You know.
I know, yeah.
Let me
And
see.
maybe his plan. Maybe he's waiting around and he's going to pick Matthew Stafford or Aaron Rodgers. You know,
I mean, Matt Stafford, late round for all you fools that put off your quarterback and are going to try and piece it together. Matt Stafford's an awesome choice for that.
absolutely. Yeah.
You like Michael Penix? Too soon?
Too soon.
To be seen.
you gotta sit on it.
I would.
Too soon.
I would do a Kirk Cousins Michael Penix combo. I'd be pretty happy with that. Therefore, you always have the starter.
So soon.
How about that situation? You're handcuffing your quarterback instead of your running back. You got your handcuff for your starting quarterback.
Justin Fields and Russell Wilson too.
Oh, dude! So the hot Bears take, and I really like Justin Fields. If you want more information on it, we can talk at any point. We did him wrong, and I think we should have moved to Caleb Williams. But that dude is really talented. And
All right.
I think that we will. And Mike Tomlin has been in the hot seat a little bit. Even though he makes the playoffs every year, they haven't won a playoff game in like 7 years or something. I think that Mike Tomlin will go with the guy who's winning them games, and I think the locker room will sniff out that Russ is kind of fake news, or he's kind of a fake person. You know, he's doing kicks in the airplane, and he's just weird. You guys, as Broncos fans, know all about Russell Wilson. He's just
We know the pain.
He's weird, man. And Justin Fields is a hard worker. He's going to be there early. He's going to work. He's going to win the locker room, and he's talented, man. I think that he ends up taking more than half of the snaps. And I know that's a long shot bet.
No, honestly probably not though.
And there's to detail, and again, you guys probably don't care that much, but the trade was a 6th-round pick. But if he starts more than half of the snaps, if he starts one more snap than 50%, it turns into a 4th-round pick. And so the Steelers have an incentive to not start him, if that makes sense. But I don't think Mike Tomlin cares about that at all. I think if Justin wins the locker room and shows that if the team needs a little electricity, they're switching to Justin. And he is a highlight reel, man. He's an amazing talent. So
I did make my selection. Amari Cooper.
All right, man.
Yeah.
That's a reliable.
All right.
Reliable guy.
I'm higher on Deshaun Watson than most people too. I think that he's going to have a good season. I know he's
Off the field.
Yeah.
Off the field. Off the field, and we'll leave it at that.
that's the age-old argument of do you judge the player or the person? Like, and I'm a musician.
I judge the person.
Well, I'm a musician, and Miles Davis physically abused 4 of his wives, but he's the greatest jazz artist of all time. So, do you hate Miles Davis or do you listen to Miles Davis?
I think you hate Miles
but we still listen to him and study his music, right? So,
You study it, but you
Deshaun
hate
Watson is a good quarterback and has top 5 overall quarterback out. Like his ceiling
Back in
is
2020, 5 years ago.
His ceiling is
5 years
higher
ago.
than Lamar
Long time
Jackson.
ago.
It's like
Really long time ago.
yeah.
John,
but it's been
5 years
injuries, man.
ago.
It's been injuries. It's been a shoulder. It's been.
Oh, dude.
I mean, this is his 3rd season. This is his 3rd season with the Browns.
Okay.
His first season, he missed 7 games, and he couldn't be with the team for the first half of the season.
Right.
He was not allowed in the facility, and so he had to come in week 8 or 9 or whatever with literally no reps. Literally couldn't work with the team. Didn't know the offense. Had never taken a snap from the center. Had never talked to the wide receiver because he could not work with the team. And so the first season is a throwaway. You can't start your quarterback who's had 0 reps with anyone and call that a season. The second season had the injury. He was out for half the season. This is his third season, and I understand it's a prove it year. He's got to do it this year, but I think that he will. He's really, really talented. He's still. How old is Deshaun Watson? 29?
28.
He's young for quarterback. I think he's going to do it, and he's got top 5 quarterback upside. So in that range where you're taking like Aaron Rodgers or whatever, that's a spicy pick. In that range where you're taking Aaron Rodgers or I don't know, Matt Stafford, you could get 10 extra years from Deshaun Watson. Not 10, but
Do you like this guy?
I like that guy a lot. Yeah. Can they see what you're looking at here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do like Xavier
Xavier
Leggett.
Leggett.
Yep.
I do like Xavier Leggett. It's
Shot in the dark, man.
See, the thing is, you have to wait. First overall is great because you get Patrick Mahomes.
But I
10th
gotta
overall
wait.
is tough. 10th is
Very
tough,
tough.
man.
So with the completion of round 9, John, I think we end the stream with your fishy pick of round 9 and the best Johnny Wonderful pick of round 9.
Okay. I do like Stephon Diggs. I'm excited to see how it works out in Houston this year, especially with C.J. Stroud in his second season. But I know it looks like a reach, but I'm going to go with the combo pair again of Bryce Young and Bo Nix, quarterbacks, because if either of those guys, again, Bryce Young's rookie season, the first season has to be considered a throwaway. It must be considered a throwaway because the team was so bad. The team is so bad. The Bears still have early picks from the Panthers coming next year, and it's horrible how they manage the team. But Bryce Young, Bo Nix, if either of those guys have a good season, they immediately vault in this startup as we're looking at it. They vault up into round 5 or 6, and so then you're turning Bryce Young into. You're looking at Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith, Rome Odunze, Devon Achane, Travis Etienne, So you're getting, if either of those guys hit, you're looking at 4 rounds of value. And so it's got to be the quarterbacks.
All right. Well, I think that concludes this stream. We intend
Malachi's
to
up on the clock, isn't he? One more. Give us-
All right,
give us
one more. All
give us
right, one more.
right?
Mally, who do you pick?
I have to say, when John was talking about the running backs being drafted,
Uh-huh.
he kept talking about a name that was available later.
No way.
And he was talking about David Montgomery.
Demo, dude.
No way.
Demo. I love David
Come on,
Montgomery.
baby.
Wow. All right. Tububub. Oh, speaking of the devil.
In non-PPR leagues, David Montgomery was a running back 1 last year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I like Demo. He was a Bear, and that dude is a locker room gem. He's a really good dude, and he falls forward. He gets tough yards. Jahmyr Gibbs will be the outlet, the passing down guy, and David Montgomery, he'll be touchdown dependent, but if he gets his touchdowns, and he always falls forward, man. That guy, he has contact balance. I'd say second only to Alvin Kamara. The first person never tackles him, and that's touchdowns, man. That's yards.
Fair enough.
I like Demo.
Who you taking?
So it's a little early. I need another wide receiver. I'm picking the wide receiver with the lowest
I didn't touch him.
of the rookies.
I didn't touch him.
Of the rookies,
I left it.
this wide receiver had the lowest drop percentage of any rookie in the class. This dude is a contested catch freak. Runs strong routes for being a rookie. He's in a bad situation right now, but I think he's going to be great. And it's Ricky Pearsall.
Oh!
Dang. Okay.
He's got hands like the best in the league. And once Debo and or Brandon Ayuk are out of San Francisco,
Ayuk might get traded.
I don't think he's going anywhere this year. But 2 years from now, when 1 or 2 of those guys are gone, Ricky Pearsall all of a sudden jumps up
Bam.
into that.
Well, doesn't he have a rushing upside? Kind of
Yeah.
what would you say, a utility?
Yes,
player?
he's a good utility guy. I think they're going to use him in the slot, and he's going to be their first down. Because Debo is in San Francisco,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So as long as Debo's there, Debo's going to be the
Yeah, but
gadget
Brandon
guy.
Ayuk, dude, he might be out.
He will be. Yeah.
At some point.
He's going to play for his $14 million a year contract this year.
And then that's
They
draft this guy, I think, with the intent that they're losing either
I could-
Debo or Ayuk?
I could also see management trading Ayuk at the deadline.
Yeah.
Because if they keep him for the season but aren't planning on paying him the $30 million he wants, then they don't get any value for him. So
Right.
I could see Brandon Ayuk going to a contending team at the trade deadline.
Like Denver Broncos.
Like yeah, like the Jets or who else needs a receiver? I mean, maybe your Xavier Worthy doesn't look great and he ends up in Kansas City. Maybe I don't know, just a contending team who needs help at wide receiver at the trade deadline because then San Francisco gets a pick. Otherwise, if they're not planning on paying him, they don't get anything out of it. And if they can trade him for a second at the trade deadline, they get an extra second. So
Sure.
So yeah, Ricky Pearsall, I think he's going to replace.
Good pick.
I think he's going to be literally 1-for-1 replacement Brandon Ayuk in one season.
I think it's a good dynasty selection.
Yep. And I do have to start 3 wide receivers, so
So so we know John's next pick.
so I do have to take. Ricky Pearsall.
John will be targeting Hollywood Brown with his next
dude.
pick.
No, there's still some guys out
Chris
there.
Godwin, Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson. Yeah, there's some players.
I mean,
man.
Terrible
Yeah.
Terry's great. Christian Kirk gets
Terrible Terry.
targets.
No, he's terrible.
Christian Watson, Adonai Mitchell. I think Keenan Allen's going to have a good season.
Hey, Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, okay. Jalen Polk, for all you Dynasty freaks out there, Jalen Polk is the wide receiver 1 in New England.
Hands up, dude.
I mean,
I don't know. Boston?
I
I don't know.
Romeo
What that means.
John Dotson, I like.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Tyler Lockett?
I will say, no, I mean, yeah.
It's your
I mean,
third guy?
You have to look at him as a 1-year starter.
Randall?
But
Yeah. Most of these people are.
just so it's on the record to Jason Fast, Cortland Sutton will not be on my team.
We do know that. And on that note, Malachi, appreciate you calling in. That's all the time we have for you. So have a good night,
Hey,
good
appreciate
evening, and we'll
having
see you
me.
later.
Yep.
Oh, damn. You're doing fast. I really like Malachi, man. Good
Yeah,
dude.
me too. I love him. He's
dude.
probably my one of my favorites.
Good dude.
John, any closing remarks? We appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me, Eli.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited. My last thing I wanted to add, I guess,
Yeah.
was like,
Do you have a